Diablo, somebody named Johanny. Hello, hello.
I hear you clear, bro. Loud.
Yeah, you
You
hear
hear me
me? You hear
loud,
me?
right?
I think I might be loud. Let me lower myself.
My shit goes
Um,
to yellow, but it's all good.
yeah, mine's on. Uh, yeah. Okay. I think I should be. I should be fine right here.
Salute, world,
Salute, man.
salute.
What's up? What's up,
What up,
Rob?
Al?
Happy
Right.
Monday, man. One more time. I'm gonna do another clap. Another clap.
Ow.
You know what I'm saying?
Another one in the books, y'all. Welcome to the Manuscript Love. I'm your boy, Rob Hegan. It's my brother, ALBYBEATZ.
What's up, man? That's Rob, man. I played the two tags. You know that was actually perfect on cue. On cue, man. With the I
Yeah.
put the tags. I just played them.
Love, man.
What's up, man? Yeah.
You
Thank
already
you,
know,
Mr.
man.
Hegan.
Yeah,
Uh,
man. Love, man. I'm in Jersey, y'all, so we don't got
yeah.
ourselves right in the same studio, but you already know, same purpose,
Yeah.
same focus,
Yeah, man.
same drive,
Yeah,
man, same
man.
connection, man.
Yeah,
How
we.
you feeling, my brother? How's your week been?
Well, I am tired. I'm not going to front. I'm a bit tired. Hold on a second. Let me.
God, yeah, hey, man, I'm tired. Yeah, I share that sentiment myself. I
Yeah,
share.
man. Your boy was out on the weekend. And so got back from a trip, and bro, I didn't even. I was just thinking. I've been up for a couple hours. I went to got to go to Paris for the first time.
Paris,
Um,
Paris,
and shout out to Kim for taking me.
Paris.
It wouldn't be
Shout out,
possible without her.
Kimberly.
So it was a great experience. The weekend trip, and I didn't notice. So yesterday, I was up for a little while because they're 6 hours ahead. So taking a flight back, you go 6 hours backwards, right?
Mm,
So I'm getting up at what 5 something in the morning over there,
mm.
and so I wasn't even in Paris. I was in a town called Chantilly. So it's about,
It's my future daughter's name. I said Chantilly, Chantilly.
and then
Hell of a
and then
name.
she took me. It was we were out at so it's like about, I don't know, driving maybe close to 40 minutes or so
Okay.
to Paris.
Okay.
Um, and
Oh wow.
so
So you had to drive to there for you. That's what I'm hearing correctly. So you got
yeah.
some sightseeing. Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
And I
what's
actually
up.
took the train there, so we took the metro. The day took the metro, like their version of it, to Paris. So that was like about an hour.
What they called it, not the MTA.
Shit, honestly, I gotta go back. I think I kept one of the cards.
That's fine.
It's in my wallet. I kept the little card, metro card thingy that they use.
Nice.
Um, and then yeah, and then they have like the Metro North, which is through ticket based. The way is here. And that took like an hour to get there. So with yesterday, all in all, it's like I'm getting up at 5:45. I guess a.m. The flight is at 9 a.m. and it's a 7.5 hour flight,
Uh,
right?
yeah.
So if you're counting from nine, what was that, to, and that's 7 hours? That's what
16.
6 p.m. Oh yeah,
Oh,
16.
oh, you're trying
Well,
to. Yeah, right.
16, but yeah, like that. No, so that would be, sorry.
So then go from 12 hours from where you started, and then add 4 hours to that. Well,
And then so now I land
more.
and land. We land in New York at 11:30 a.m. So that's what's trippy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the flight was at 9 a.m. Paris, and we landed at New York 11:30 a.m. It's like, oh, that's 2 hours, but
Nah,
nah,
that's weird. Wow. And then you did share with me that you came and you could have rested, but you went straight into like
when
just
I
living.
and then I went outside, played kickball with some
Yeah.
fan. That was pretty cool, man. With a friend of mine, with Adam,
Yeah. Love. Love.
and
Love.
that was cool, man. We just playing some kickball with some family vibes in the Bronx
Yeah.
nearby. So, but still, like I
Shout out to
was,
Fred
yeah,
Epps.
yeah, yeah. So I was but I was up for a minute now. You know what I mean? Granted, I did get to sleep, so I did sleep on the flight. I slept close to 4 hours, maybe 4 or 5, like,
What's
yeah, like
fire?
4 hours,
You didn't have to take anything to fall
4 or
asleep.
5 hours. Nah, bro, because I was already pretty tired already. Getting up that
Nice.
early, um, so it wasn't that hard to fall asleep. Um, and it was, yeah, so I probably slept. Let's see, because I remember waking up when I like finally went to sleep. and it was probably like 2 hours and 40 minutes left to the flight till we land.
Okay. Okay.
So so I was like, yo, I calculated. I was like, I was up for a while yesterday. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
not thinking of the hours that I've actually been up because everything went back. We landed at 11:30 a.m.
Yeah. Right. No, I'm following. I'm
You
following.
know,
I mean,
so
I wouldn't even know how to treat that. Like I
just
would do
get
the same thing you did and just keep going until maybe I'm about to crash out. Like,
and that's what happened. But I crashed out. You know what I'm saying? Pretty late. Pretty late. You know,
I love to
for
that.
considering, especially for the time that I have to
Yeah, but
wake
bro,
up.
you traveled the world, and I
Yeah,
crash
yeah,
out for
yeah.
that. I crash out for that.
Uh,
Love to that, bro.
yeah,
Traveling the
yeah,
world.
man.
Me,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
tired from basketball.
Mm,
Honestly,
mm.
started playing again, physical again, bro,
Nice,
and just
nice.
pushing my body, keeping
Yeah.
stretching, and being like, all right, I stretched. Let me not take too much of a break. Let's keep getting it in, and just using it as a form of just shaping my physique. I started thinking to myself, like, I peeped just how quickly R.I.P. Kobe Bryant when he went into retirement, and after a year of being just retired, you could look at the pictures where he's in the beach, and all that body fat went straight to his hips, and I was like, wow. So see,
Mm.
he was like literally staying in shape and knew how to engage his whole body. And he took 1 year off and look, got dad bod. So I was like, yo, let me take my time and really like, what I'm saying, really
Yeah.
pump fake and use your mid range, your core. Like, I don't give a fuck about if I miss. If I miss, I'm going jumping for I'm running for my rebounds, jogging for my rebounds. Like,
Yeah.
it's all about engaging every part of my body and bend it, catch when they're gonna go and juke and fake right, like really extend that and dribble one dribble pop like on some mellow
Mm-hmm.
joint.
Mm-hmm.
Been trying to do little things like that. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Boy, oh boy. It's rough. It's rough, but God is good, bro. You're able to do it. You already know. The world don't know I had herniated disc when I was 17. So
Mm-hmm.
ever since, like, you know what I mean? It was
Mm-hmm.
a battle of like um both everything, bro, physical and then also mentally not being ready to be that disciplined and you know what I'm saying? Like, what's seven? Even people now my age be like, oh, I gotta stretch every day, bro. I had to learn how to do that at that age, young. It was not happening like that,
Yeah,
but
man.
but
So
but now it
unfortunate.
is.
Yeah.
If
Uh,
anything, if anything,
so
that
the
will
you
go
say you
ahead.
played ball all weekend, so you don't feel you don't feel sore? Because I know if I play ball,
No,
man,
no,
ooh,
I'm bad, bro. I'm
yeah.
bad. So
So to that point, that's what's up, man. I think
you
because
see me get up, I'll be like, take a deep breath
yeah,
when I get up this motherfucker. Like, deep breath, hopping up these seats.
listen, is that that is also I think a great I think when you mention a great way to also look at just anything physical that we do. You play basketball, like if you do that, you are definitely like you're gonna get in shape. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Like the way you're speaking of focusing on your core, your movements, really using your hips, and then of course running for rebounds and jumping, like all of that is, awesome.
And
Listen,
paying attention exactly where how I'm, like, yeah, and it was funny too, bro. I think just God is good, bro. At every type of teaching I had because it was in acting, acting 101 that I learned how to like lead with your hips, lead with your chest. I'm like
uh,
developing characteristics for acting, right?
mm,
So these are the things that taught me how to focus on body language and what you choose to do, right? So, and it's so funny, never even equating that to like, yo, no, physical activities for sure, right? You want to run faster or focus on what? Are you engaging your core? Are you moving with your upper body, pushing
mm,
that forward, or is it really more of your legs or part of your legs? Are you talking about your, what I'm saying, below your knees and your calves or your whole, what are you engaging? Some people don't even engage their whole leg, you feel me? They're not lifting their knees. So it's like,
yeah,
you bugging. Like, so that kind of stuff, bro. But not to dwell too much on that, man.
that's good.
W-
So
yeah,
we're
nah,
both getting
love,
into our
love.
exercise. Part of
For
that's
sure, for
part of
sure.
part of
That shit
that.
helps with how I
Man.
feel too. I'll tell you that much, man.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm like thinking of like, man, what can I do right now? You know what I'm saying? Because we got the, already, pregame for this, do my studying. Shout out to all the other podcasts that came along the way because we definitely gonna tap in. Today's, conversation is connected to the
Mhm.
Am I Toxic off last week.
Mhm.
And I know the words tapped in and they definitely seen our brothers out there speaking their truth. And I know
Mhm.
everybody has an opinion. We're gonna share ours. Shout out to the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast. Shout out to Cam Newton's Funky Friday podcast. Shout out to Nick Cannon's Council Court, I believe it's called Council Culture.
Right.
Council Culture, you know what I'm saying? Like they all just, setting up the floor to have these conversations. Manuscript's gonna tap in on those three things.
Yeah,
Love.
definitely. And part of the yeah, because we just a continuation of these. What makes us toxic, and of course that's and so with those, man, we could just dive right in. Unless actually before we do, that whatever, I'll pick that up later. Before we do that and get into like talk about what we've seen recently with those men having conversations that bring us back to these ideas of what it means to be a man. And I'm sure that that I would guess that, well, at least men that are like, tapping in, especially through via social media and are into sports would understand and be part of these conversations that are happening with Cam, Nick Cannon,
Right.
recently,
Right, right, right.
especially around the idea of marriage and fatherhood, which
Right.
we've we've talked about, right? That's constantly coming
Mm-hmm.
up for us as men, and constantly looking at what does it even mean, right? To what does it mean for us to be a
Prioritize
part of those things,
family,
yeah, and be part of those
Yeah.
things, right? That's called the marriage and fatherhood, and
Right.
how we view it as men, and then as black men, and um, it's just yeah, like so. um,
I
there was
love,
some
bro. I
funny.
love that we were already on these kind of
There was
conversations
yeah.
and separately different videos,
Yeah,
man. Like,
it always comes up because it's always relevant,
it's
man. But
yeah,
I
so
think
much.
another thing that's been coming up as far as like just issues, man, with us as men, as brothers, is just recently there's been a string of violence, and that's like I was the reason why I paused is because it's like that's cliche to even say at this point, because I think it's been violence, honestly, that we've been seeing a lot, especially via social media, for the last 10 years, maybe since World Star. And
Yeah,
so the latest,
bro. Even before videos, bro. You and I, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you
yeah,
and I were witness to some bad things in
yeah.
training, bro. You know what I mean?
Uh,
So that's before it even went viral,
so
it's
it's
kind of shit.
like, yeah, and so this idea again to see that, like, man, this idea of masculinity, right? Like, because we see this too often, So what I'm referring to is definitely there's a Philly rapper that was murdered recently, at a YBC duel, and
Yep, yep, yep.
I'm sure, like, yeah, it's everywhere right now. At least I was turning to, whether at least on social media, of course, and even the news. I covered it in Philly. This rapper that was known, that was murdered, and now what's sticking out to me is just the fact that it really sucks when you're stuck in the algorithm. Like, it keeps spitting these things out at you. So I clicked on, a couple posts to find out what's
Mm,
happening, and then all of a sudden, like, now across my timeline, it's like
mm.
videos
West Paris, West Paris.
right,
Damn.
videos and angles of like he got shot. Oh, look, videos resurfaced, and I was
Yeah.
like, damn, people are just regurgitating this, like, this guy got shot. This guy got shot. He was a troll. He also like he did this to his ops, and like, just, man, so it's like, to me, it's like we were talking about recently offline, right? The that constant, when I was saying propaganda before, right? It's like it's constantly put in our faces. So that has to do something to us. So I'm sure that has to do something to young men to see these images of men and then say, like, is that what we do? Is that just what we do? Is that who we are? Like, we crash out, Um,
Right.
there's that, and there's that video of that 15, 14-year-old at school trying to shoot at another one inside a school bus, and the
Yeah,
gun
where God
jam,
God saved them.
man. And
That's
then it's
my
like,
view of that. Your gun jam 3 times. Yeah, you were saved, my brother. You were saved. Man, that God bless them. That's crazy.
this is
I mean, let's talk about ourselves, bro. When you have ops, you got ops,
uh,
you got ops, you got ops. I'll be.
I mean, I'm
Well,
sure there were people that want to fight me. So I guess I guess if that's a definition of an opt, then sure, because I'm sure there's definitely in my life people wanted to fight me.
and how about now?
I can't say, bro, because so I would say no. Because
ops will let themselves be known, nah? I mean, that's my question too. I would
well,
say no, they
yeah,
ain't got no
hopefully, yeah,
ops.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
would say
yeah,
me,
yeah. I
they
would
ain't
say
got
no,
no
yeah,
ops.
yeah,
Did
yeah,
I
yeah.
have ops before? For sure. Did they go and communicate it to me? For sure. You know what I mean? Did they play sick like they could have done something, but they didn't? For sure. You know what I mean? Like, but I,
It,
I
yeah.
wonder what the end game is with this in terms of manhood. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's corny as fuck. Like, there's nothing, you about to be real destructive if you really think that you as a man you're supposed to operate out here with ops. Like,
Yeah.
that was my point in my asking you the question, because I say to myself, as I become more of a man, I don't got no ops because I don't leave things unsaid, undone. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have these conversations. Now, if people don't want to have conversations with me, I'm still not going to consider you a op. You know what I mean? Like, until you gonna let it be known who you are. You know,
Yeah.
on that. And so that whole situation is unfortunate. I don't think anybody should lose a life. To me, the most manly thing you could do is go one on one, and that's it, and keep doing it. But even we saw that, bro, when we tried to set up one on one fights and people, our homies were winning, they went ahead and tried to jump us because they didn't like that, their
Mm,
ego and pride. It just is what it is.
yeah.
It's a losing game type shit when you talking ego and pride, bro. That's my thing. When it's becoming my ego and pride versus yours, I'm starting to see nobody wins. Nobody
Mm,
wins because I shouldn't even try to be feeding my ego and pride. That's my ego and pride, that you shouldn't be. You're not a threat. You know what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It shouldn't see you as a threat. It shouldn't make you a threat. You know what I mean? Like, I should. That's maturity for me, and I don't think it just has to do with us as men. It's just what it is. Um, I don't know too much about his scenario, his situation. Why? I don't want to mess it up, but dual. Why
Mm,
something dual? Like, I don't know
yeah,
too much.
yeah.
I think to myself, like, if you're playing with fire, you're gonna get burned. So if he was disrespecting,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen. And again, I do not condone violence. I don't think people should lose
Yeah.
their life. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah.
people should like, that's all on God, right? God brought me
Well,
in. God gonna take me out. That's my belief.
mm,
But people got God complexes, bro. They got anger issues. They don't want to deal with it. Man, it is what it is.
and, and the stuff that they said he did, man, not supposedly, there's video of him digging up a grave. It's just egregious stuff, man.
So I'm saying, like,
Like
come on.
crazy stuff. Like just
It's wild disrespectful. You would have been tapping into the worst in me, and
it's
and I've been
just
in the situations not like that, but I've been in
it's
situations where
sad,
somebody's trying
man.
to tap into the worst of
Just
you.
super sad.
Again, what do you do? I think that's why we're here, bro, to help men realize, like, what I'm saying, ain't nobody gonna help you get over these things except for yourself. It's
Sorry.
not nobody's fault, right? If a woman keeps pushing you and pushing you and pushing you and tapping your buttons, it's not ever gonna be, yo, she put her hands on me 7 times, bro, and I just didn't do anything, and then I beat the shit out of her.
Mm,
That's not gonna make it okay.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? You gotta get
mm-hmm.
the fuck out.
Yeah.
Excuse my language, but you gotta get
This,
out. No, like, it be like that. Like, even
uh,
me, look, talking about it, it had to be that intense. I got to curse because
yeah.
it's like, yo, get out,
Yeah.
go, you
Yeah.
know,
I
you
know
know what I'm
for sure.
saying?
For
And then
sure.
again, pride and ego don't want you to leave, right? Because
Hmm.
then you like, wow, I gotta go. Fuck that. And I get it, bro. But look, something gonna take you out.
Oh yeah.
God bless him, bro. You're definitely in a better place now because all we got to do is deal with all you know what I'm saying? Bless you. All we got to do is deal with the
Hmm.
collateral damage of the fact that this is like you said, this is something that is not new. It's continuing. You know what I'm saying? To make headlines. It's continuing to be something. And you know what I'm saying? What's the progress? If it's even in the children, you know what I mean? Like, it's in the school bus.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, that was a different whole
man.
thing. I'm saying that was a different thing, but I'm
Well,
saying,
but
like,
it's
wow,
still it's terrible. It's
wow.
it's sad, Rob. It's like it's really sad because it's just they're just so young and just so young,
And to
so
say,
young.
real shit,
All
yo,
of
to
them, all of
say,
them.
hey, bro, I looked at that job too as a bus
You
driver for
know,
kids. And you think that shit is safe. And then look, that's wild. I'm smiling because it's just like, I smile when I'm uncomfortable.
and
You know
that
what I mean?
happened. So this happened in Prince George's County. So this is
That shit's
In
crazy.
Maryland. So that's not that far, man. But this happened last year. So this video, interesting. This video resurfaced. It's because it says prosecutors say that on May 1st, we're hearing about this now, but
Hmm.
or at least, this happened May 1st of 2023. It says
Yeah.
Holland and the victim were both on a school bus. Um, the bus was stopped at Iverson with three young people boarded and began to attack the 14-year-old boy. The assault was captured on the surveillance camera. Holland held the gun to the victim's head, pulled the trigger 3 times, but it jammed and did not fire. When the gun failed to fire the first time, Holland racked the gun to try to correct it. Whatever, it malfunctioned. It says the 14-year-old victim was able to escape with minor injuries. Now, there's another thing that happened here. There's two other teens involved in the attack, so they were also charged as adults. And right now, Holland is incarcerated, or should be, by probably right now, is
For attempted murder.
in an adult facility. So you're talking
Mm.
about a kid who, let me see, he's a teen who pleaded guilty to attempted murder of a 14-year-old. He was what? He was baby K. He was 15 years old at the time, so he's 16 right now. But you're talking about a 16-year-old young man who's gonna go to prison for
For like
25 years,
5 years.
and he's gonna be in a facility with grown men, bro. Are you kidding me? That are gonna take advantage of him.
I pray not. I pray not. I pray not.
And he was
We
found
know what we
guilty.
think happens, right? What we
This
think we
is,
know happens,
oh
right?
my God, this is just, just sad, man. Really is. So now I pulled up another article that said he's due to be sentenced on May 17th. But wait, this is March 14th, 2024. So yeah,
Mhm.
he was sentenced already. This is crazy. It just sucks, man. And then, I just clicked real quick. This is on, I'm on this NBC thing, just looking at recent articles. A lot of shooting, man. Suspect arrested in fatal shooting in Reston Gym. Man shot and killed inside Gold Gym. Oh, that's the same one, but yeah, it's just bad, man. The gun violence. I also send you something now. Actually, I'm gonna send you something because in a weird way, I don't know if in a weird way this video intrigued me because it made me be like, all right, not all is lost in a weird way, and you'll see why if you watch the video. You got the video?
I do.
Um,
Oh my goodness! I seen this. I seen this.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay, he knocks him out. I seen he stops. He says he
yeah,
asked for it. I got witnesses.
yeah.
My man's leaking. His white shirt was definitely red.
Uh,
They're leaking. The other man looked like Debo at the end of the movie, though. Look, Debo right there.
Damn, it's not playing, man. It's not playing. Oh,
Nah, we don't need this violence. It's leaking blood. Y'all seen it, the Vegas and MGM? Bro, this shit is circulate. These things circulate. Like, I gotta assume people are seeing it. If not, a fight happened in Vegas, y'all, at the MGM. One man on
mm-hmm,
two. I
mm-hmm.
mean, it just starts off with the first, like, he already landed the swing
I'm
on
trying to
Anthony
play it,
Joshua.
man, but my browser's acting stupid. I don't
So
know
how did
why.
I'm curious, my brother. How did this?
Alright, so how it relates? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
please
because
tell
you
me.
did bring up earlier, right? You said there's certain situations where you don't have to like, as men, there's certain things you could do, especially when it comes to like fighting people. You could defend yourself. Some people like really some men really are violent, and they're like just violent to everyone. He
Yeah,
did all that.
yeah.
He got jumped by women, and do you notice he didn't hit not one of them?
Nah, I did notice that. I was very happy. He just pushed her away, and she slipped crazy. He pushed her away. Again, right,
So that to me,
right, right, right.
that was a shining moment in like because we just talked about men that like recklessly were violent,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I don't like it's. I'm very curious about what led to their choices. I mean, I can guess, and take educated ones, but it's like
Boy,
to just talk to them, and it's like I'm curious to even hear from their mouth, like
shout
what.
out to his women too. Shout
But
out,
anyway,
yeah.
in this video, so now you see this guy, and there's clearly violence. But it's like this guy clearly they were trying to jump him. It's 2v1. And so he knocks out both of them. And then he gets jumped technically as a 4v1. Because I guess these two guys came with two women that also tried to jump in.
Yeah, it's bad.
And he somehow
It's
like,
bad.
he just shakes them off of him. Like, and he like, yo, get off of me. And he did look like he was going to swing. And then he saw who it was. And it's like, oh, nah, chill. And I was just like, kudos to him, man, because I know there are men who are really reckless, and they're like, nah, you all getting knocked out, and they're just
With the
gonna,
crowd, just
gonna knock out all of them, and it's like, alright, if you already knocked out two of
Dave
them,
Chappelle, you remember
yeah.
Dave? They put the shit when Dave Chappelle was fighting Godzilla, and he's
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Rah!"
yo, damn, I really want to play this shit, but
Nah,
I don't
bro.
know if I can.
Yeah, man. But
Uh,
it's a lot to talk about, bro. It's a lot to talk about because yo, anger is this thing, bro. It's not just us, bro, and it's not. I've seen anger in women that I just could not handle. I could not deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like I could not. I just could not, and it leaves me to
yeah.
just feel that. You know what I'm saying? There's a place that we have to find where we keep maintain our peace and we do not take our anger out on everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like you can like again, right? We like when we go to the feelings wheel,
Uh-huh.
anger is the root. Cool. When you but you know you start off feeling certain things before you really just hold on to all anger, right? Like I'm looking at the wheel right now, you
Mm-hmm.
may feel disrespected, you may feel violated, you may be jealous, you may be annoyed, withdrawn, numb, right? And even then, you get to being mad, bitter, aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
You already, everybody that I've seen have anger issues, they already showed aggressive natures. They've already
Mm-hmm.
showed that they get distant, right? These things happen, and then the anger subside. It doesn't. Well, I guess it just subsides all those things, and we don't talk about that, and they have to act out on anger.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, I grew up in a place where you know I've seen this was the nature of the parenting for me, right? My father never took out his anger, but he didn't know how to help my mother in her anger, and then my mother would just every that we just couldn't make that work, right? So then
Mm-hmm.
again I think it's so many people how we can help each other, but
No.
then obviously you know what I'm saying how do you help each other, right?
Yeah.
If you're in a romantic relationship, can that be, or is just things get too sticky? Right. That's why me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I'm in a place where I'm single and I'm thinking that diving into romantic relationships is what's making it hard for me to really be there for people the way I think God asked me to be there for people. You know what I mean? So then I have to really be there for them and watch how I'm connecting because there's just a lot of teaching that has to happen, right? A lot of expectations and relationships and this and that. Well, we'll get into what Cam and all these men expect, but what they give, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to not dive too much into that, this whole anger thing. There's got to be a place, bro. I see it in men and women, and I just I wonder like what goes on internally where there is like that's not your last resort.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Because I don't know. It looked like the homie in his fruit stripe shirt wasn't about to swing. It looked like he was trying to hold him back. And then the friend at the white just caught the first hit
Mm-hmm.
and was already looking a little dizzy. Got hit again and was down. And then he just felt
He's
like
a man down.
his man was holding him, so he just went and swung at him too. Bling bling. And
A
so
trigger
like
warning, yo. I found the video. I played it real quick. Let me
yeah.
lower it.
But you're right to believe
Uh,
that there is some sort of control that he had because I've seen other men, in that situation. No matter who's, he
yeah,
knows
yeah,
the
yeah,
intentions,
yeah.
swinging and pushing
Yep.
everybody,
Boom.
and he
Oh
didn't do
my
that.
god.
Um, Safety is the
I
word,
mean,
right?
he
He had
kind of swung at her a little bit, but he got her out the way.
no, it was just like a fuck, like get the fuck out of here, shoved her. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah,
bro, he could have been swung. He could
yeah,
have been
yeah,
taking his
yeah,
attention to her because the other dudes
yeah,
were night night. They was gone.
yeah,
He just wanted to really fuck them up and leave them like they had nothing, and
yeah.
they really had nothing. Like
Uh,
it was over.
uh.
Um, so but kudos to him, bro. You know what I mean?
That
But you're right.
he really knocked him out.
Yeah, he was bad, bro.
My boy could not get up.
Yeah, it was bad.
My boy
Uh,
could not get up.
yeah. He swung away on that one. That was
That
crazy.
was.
Nah, crazy, bro. My homie was leaking bad. And then what that was crazy to me because he was leaking off the first hit that you don't even get to see land. Bro, I was like, sheesh. And then I'm like, well, if he already landed and the boy's about to go down, so then that's you. His homie had his hands on him, like you know what I mean. Like I didn't see the dude was about to swing. You know what I mean? He probably, I don't know, like that's what I asked myself. Like again, I asked myself, like I gotta check. what I do when I feel unsafe.
Right.
You feel me? For me, when I feel unsafe, I don't want to harm people, but I do need to protect myself. So I leave, right? Like when I mentioned the women that I've seen get aggressive, I've left. You know what I'm saying? I've left. Now I pray that, you know what I'm saying? I've for a long
Hmm.
time held myself accountable, asking myself like, damn, is that good? Because
I mean, ideally,
I
it shouldn't even get to that place, and
right, right.
you
But
shouldn't even get
also,
there. If you get
amen,
into the
amen.
place where
Right. I understand.
words no longer work, and you have to communicate with your body, it's kind of like and
Yeah,
aggressively,
yeah,
which usually a physical act is an aggressive way to communicate.
right.
Well,
I ask myself, how do you get back from that? Because this is the one thing that I'm learning that I haven't ever really been taught,
yeah.
seen. So I have to learn it for myself.
Uh,
Relationships are not perfect, and when they get hard, how do I get back to the relationship in a healthy way? Because many a times I come from abandonment,
well,
so I don't want to
well,
abandon, but it feels and looks like abandonment because I gotta go and I'm taking time away, right?
right.
And I've had to be understanding to trauma, trauma all across the board like that. That doesn't work. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's either that I'm not in a relationship with a person that's like that, or I learn how to maintain the mentality of I'm still safe. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the woman ever made me feel I felt unsafe, yes, but I didn't feel like my life was in danger, right? And that's a male privilege. I can admit that because I can admit that it's just my manhood that didn't ever feel like this person was a threat to me in my life.
No.
I did feel threatened, like I don't know if this person's gonna just start swinging and shit, and I just don't feel good. How am I supposed to look at my lady like that? That's whack.
Yeah.
So my biggest question of is just how do we get, you know what I'm saying, like how do we sort out this aggressive nature that we have building, you know what I'm saying, like, and this is
Yeah.
in women too, bro. It's like it's not just men, you know what I'm saying, like
No, no. It's. I think. Well, for one,
it's just human
it's
nature.
no, no. It doesn't have to be because I think
I
we.
agree, I agree.
I think again. I think it's stuff. It's cycles. It's a way of communicating that I think has been awfully passed down. I think our ideas of relationships, and again, going back to what started this, right? What makes me toxic is where it gets us in some of these situations, especially for us as men. And so, getting back to a relationship or repair, I think could look many ways. I think as long as the individuals, first and foremost, are able to are able to repair themselves after they're experiencing something like that within a relationship or any, I mean, even any relationship. Again, we talk a lot about family dynamics that are often traumatic, and I think whether someone's going to ultimately stay in connection with their family because through the trauma, or some are not, or some are gonna dip.
Right, right.
In either scenario, I think if the people are able to find healing, that's a win, and I think that's where I would hope, I would think that it would be, and I would like to aspire to get to a place for anyone, to be able to do that, to have that process of repairing and healing, regardless of what the outcome is of said relationship that was had and then was broken due to a very traumatic experience, for both folks. So, you know, I think that part, yeah. So that I'm gonna put that on the list because I want to go back to some of that as far as like things that make us toxic.
Love, 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 love.
I am interested actually. I hesitated to do this, but I searched. I is another post I saw from a doctor, so I am gonna give them their just due and their credit.
Nice,
So I'm gonna display something from a professor. So
nice,
I want to be
nice.
able to preface this because this came across my timeline here, and I know you're gonna find this fast. I imagine you're gonna find this conversation pretty fascinating. But actually, it might take us somewhere else. So I might no. I gotta do it. I gotta
We
do it.
could,
I
yeah,
gotta do it. I gotta do it since I brought it up. All right. So
with
it's
the moderators, man, we could guide this. Let's
yeah.
go, let's go, let's go.
It's a this doctor from
Doctor what?
Robert Randolph Jr. They're a
Robert
scholar,
Randolph.
writer, and country boy from down east North Carolina. Held lecturer in English and director, University Writing Center at North Carolina A&T State University, and as assistant director of Writing Center at American University. His research and teaching interests include 20th and 21st century African American literature and
Okay.
cultural production, socio-cultural foundations of education, and black feminist and queer rhetorics. His most recent publication include
From
Delectable
Jersey,
Negroes. Yeah, he's from North Carolina.
Mount Laurel. Oh no.
Yeah, he's from North
Okay.
Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina. So I'm gonna play.
Um,
So they, I hate that. I'm gonna have to fix this. So I'm gonna load up something. I'm gonna send it to you first, actually. So he made a post that I came across, right? That fascinated me, and he played a clip. He said he once asked my black masculinities class which man was playing dumb, and the whole class interrupted into a great debate until finally one student rejected my framing and said this. Anyway, he stopped that there. That's reading off the post, but I'm gonna send it to you,
okay, I understand. I understand.
and then he plays a clip of a scene from My Wife and Kids. You know that show?
Mm-hmm.
Damon
Shout
Wayans.
out to
Yeah,
Damon
yeah.
Wayans. Yeah.
So I'll send you the link
Keisha
now. Check
Campbell.
this shit out. So this was really fascinating, actually. But I'm trying to be able to bring it back. I want to make sure to bring it back to our conversation. Oh shit, that should be done. Right.
I'm gonna reject that. My framing, I said this. They're not playing stupid. They're just affirming each other's realities and fantasies simultaneously. And
Mm.
what might we call that? Romance. Uh-huh. Uh, no.
Play,
Something that lacks
play it,
practice.
play it. You played it though, because that's what was a fascinating.
This one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
Horsing around, getting sweaty. Glassed up. Yes, yes. Hey, Dave. Yeah. Off me. Yeah. Here comes the car. Open up the hanger. Mm.
Wow. The innuendos and
Yeah, look at that.
Nobody was in there.
all right. So that was what he was trying to say. Like that's they were referencing that because they were like
I'm playing that. I'm playing that.
reassuring each other's what they like they were saying
Hmm.
fantasy,
Glassed up.
which was
Hmm.
Yes,
interesting. They had a
yes.
bromance right there, but it
Hey,
was
Dave.
pretty gay.
Yeah.
Really.
Off me. Yeah.
Open up the car.
Hmm.
Here comes
Let
the
me see.
car.
So what he
Open
continues
up
to
the
write is what's
hanger.
so funny. You're seeing the same arguments and assertions my students had then, now in the comments, and very few actually reckoned with the students' reframing of my question then and now. Hmm.
Oh man, what do you think about the clip, Rob?
Well, I mean, it's comedic. You know what I mean? I you know, if all right, so I'm not even gonna think too much. I'm gonna be straight up honest. But from where I'm coming from, like that man would have triggered me. Like that guy, like the way he's looking at me, like talking to me, like and you never gonna feed me, like and it's weird. It just felt weird. That's like that sounds like a little weird. Um,
But
that's I don't know what I was supposed to get
well,
out of that.
the question was which one of those guys are playing dumb?
I would for me, personally, I feel that the young kid that he's not he's just dumb. He's not playing dumb. As we know, that character's always been just like he's like he's just dumb. And there's this look right here that I'll tell you that it was that one look he gave him that was the shit that was like, see, he's not playing stupid. He knows exactly what he's
Some
doing.
stuff I've been missing since I got married. I'm just hanging out with
This
the buddies.
this look right here,
Playing ball. Horsing around. Getting sweaty. Glassed up.
getting sweaty.
Yes.
Hmm.
This right here, he looks at him with that look, bro. Look at him. Press that. Look at that. A few seconds right there. He that's a his bitch took it. Excuse me. Took it back.
Nah.
Got stuff. Look.
Yes. Yes.
Look at that.
Hey,
That.
Dave.
That. That.
Off me.
That right there. He looked him up and down and like licked his lips. Bro, I'd have been like, I ain't even gotta ask this man no questions. No, like, yeah, that's it. We're not going back. Oh, he feeding me. Oh, no, take that. Just take it. Thank you, sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going. You're not feeding me, bro. Love. Wait, hold on. Oh, you
Oh
about to
my
go? You about to
god.
go down? Love down. Yeah. Well, now I'm gonna.
I
I'm doing
mean,
this. I'm gonna
not
go for another hour.
9:30, 9:30. Cause I gotta eat. So
No, no, love. It's
yeah,
about me. I'm
uh,
going back to the city. But nah, it's too.
nine
Love,
thirty,
bro.
9:30. He won't wait till 9:30.
Nah.
He won't wait till 9:30.
If you wait till 9:30, but not do you think? No,
uh,
I'm good, bro. I don't like rushing,
right,
bro.
yeah, no,
Like
for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure,
one,
for
and
sure.
I rush to get over here. Um,
Yeah, that's never good. That's never good.
I just threw all my stuff together and
Yeah,
rushed. My
yeah,
room
yeah,
was a
yeah, yeah.
mess. I was like, nah,
Yeah, yeah,
man,
that's
I'm
never good.
chilling.
That's never good. But going back to the part, I do think it's an interesting question to even ask. I think because it makes people uncomfortable, but that happens all the time. I think if we remove ourselves from even the idea of gender, then this just happens. If this muscular guy was just a woman, we would, our natural instinct is to think nothing of it. Even if Junior is still playing dumb. Remember, he said, I just got married. So assuming he just got married, and let's say he was going on a date with his female coworker, the woman coworker is a coworker, right? Like we wouldn't even blink an eye if she was like flirting with him and doing the same
I
thing,
mean, we should though. That's what I'm saying, right? Because me
But not
personally,
that we
I've
not no
fallen
no.
into
I'm
those
not saying,
traps.
but
And
I'm
Shorty want to grab
well.
my hand
Well, I'm not
and
saying why we
lean
shouldn't. We
on
should
me.
we? Yeah,
Like,
I'm not really. Yeah,
nah, yeah. If you jacking, yeah, nah. But I'll be was saying that
because
we
I gotta
should.
eat. Because I gotta eat.
I
So
love.
yeah,
All
and,
right,
and go to
so
and
you
get some
already here first.
rest.
We're going to 9:30, so let's get it.
And get some rest.
Um,
But yeah, so if we wouldn't think nothing usually if it's a woman, but again that's because I think we're used to seeing those images. We're used to seeing that scenario. We're used to seeing that play out in movies and TV shows where like, so even for that show it was probably ahead of its time to even play such a joke, like, you know what I'm saying. And they could
but
like,
this,
and like, because yeah, because if it's a woman we don't assume she's a predator or a creep. If it's a guy and he's gay, instinct is why he gotta be a creep, like, but if he's just gay and he don't know any better, and he's thinking like, again, because who's playing dumb.
no, hand to God, bro. Hand
So
to
it's
God.
like,
I'm learning to call myself out definitely when I'm triggered and have, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, I can feel it. I
you
definitely
know,
know that I'm coming from personal experience.
yeah,
And you're right. None of them are playing dumb. I like what that person said. They're reaffirming each other's what they said, like their
yeah,
ideas,
yeah.
what it is,
Yeah,
that's what's
because he
happening
was
there.
romanticizing
Now,
what guys do, right? He was like the guy stuff, right? To him, it was
right.
like we just doing some guy stuff.
Now, I don't know if you've been in this position though
Yeah,
before, but I I've been in the position where like I'm not trying to romanticize things. I just literally have a love.
yeah,
Who knows if it's similar, but I have a love for the same thing, and we're doing this, and it constantly gets to a place where then it has to be there, and this, and either it does or it doesn't, and then
yeah.
if it doesn't get basically I'm getting to have to explain like I feel that I have to be very clear now in my life
Right.
with those kind of moments because I've been on the receiving end of having to apologize for gaslighting or
Mm.
before the word gaslighting it'd be like, yo, don't lead her on. It's leading her on. That's what they would just say. You're leading her on, bro. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This is
But again, leading on
and
is not gaslighting.
no, but okay, so
Because
love.
gaslighting is like I'm trying to make you like you're crazy. Like I'm trying to make you crazy over something that happened. So that's what
But you
gaslighting
can't.
is.
I don't think you could.
So
But see,
so it's
can you
like,
make them crazy? Or I thought
yeah,
it was just you're
it's
like
like no
you're
no no
telling
no.
them that their reality is not true.
Well, I guess
But
people do that, yeah, and people sometimes do that when they're. I guess you could do make somebody feel crazy when you're leading them on. So it's like, no,
right,
I never
but
really
I
liked
thought you
you.
liked me. No, I thought
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't really
but
want to
see, for
date you. I didn't
me,
really
it's
want to
like
date you.
I make it very clear
I
that we're
know,
not. I'm not.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. This is not going. This is at
Yeah.
this level, and I'm not in a
Let
relationship
me see.
with you, right? You
Yeah.
feel me? Like I try to make it very clear that whether or not we're in a relationship or we're not, and then it feels that, and that's me now. But
Hmm.
before, I used to just take what came to me. You know what I'm saying? Shorty want to flirt with me, or she could just flirt with me, and you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? It could just be that. And whenever I feel comfortable, if it gets to that, if I'm single or not, like which was the times which I was cheating because
Hmm.
I'm with somebody, if I'm unhappy and I go out and then we're over here grooving and then you flirt with me, I'm gonna flirt with you back, and then I don't know how to stop these boundaries. I'm the only one at fault because or that's or
Mm,
so it felt. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And then the thing that bothered me one of the most, or the most, was when I wasn't in a relationship and the other person was, but because they wanted to get out of the, it seemed that they wanted to get out of the relationship, and I was the I don't know what it felt like. I was the better option, but I was just like, that's not happening. Then it was like I'm gaslighting them but I was like, how can I gaslight you out of, you're in a relationship? I mean, we shouldn't even
Yeah.
be entertaining this. This is all bad, right? Like this should not just not be happening. Ain't no one tell you that you was gonna be with me, especially if you're with them. You feel me?
Oh, you just got caught up, feeling it,
Yeah,
caught up.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when it,
Oh
yeah,
no, no,
well,
you talking about
that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. So for me personally, I just
the
realized like, damn,
well,
like I put myself in these positions by
well,
accepting whatever comes to me, and I just can't do that. Like I got to be real clear about like, nah, this shit sound too sticky. Nah, we ain't even doing bro. I can't even flirt with you. Can't even just make it like ha ha, like Joe, we just kiss, like none of that extra shit. Like
mhm,
too got it's too look like and this all happened just because of the uncertainty of that clip you sent me, bro. And that
mm,
little clip where I'm like, I don't like the way he looked, right? He said, I missed this guy stuff, right? Yeah, sweating. And he looks at him and said, yeah. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? What was that? Well, you know what I'm saying? For me, I'd be like, oh, what was that? He was like, what you mean? I was like, we just talking about God stuff. I was just like doing that shit. Don't you miss it too? I was like, yeah, but I missed it. Now I got to be clear. I miss you like this. I miss you like, I miss that like a friend. Like you sound like you miss it like sexually, like
mhm,
romantically. That's not where I'm at here. You know, that's the conversation. Excuse me.
yeah, man.
Hold
So,
on.
uh, let's see.
Yeah, my fault. My shit came out. All right. You hear me?
Yeah, no, we're back.
So my shit came on. Let me
Yeah,
turn it
no,
off.
you're clear. All right,
Yeah,
so
man.
that
So so
no,
so
it does start a conversation. I was trying to list off some things again, because
does that make me
about
toxic?
yeah, in terms of how like as far as our ideas of even how we think of, and we talked about this already. What as men, what do we really value, and just intimacy and romance? Obviously, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that instinct. I think that most men are like icky about it, but it happens either way. So I think we should talk about boundaries. That is an opportunity for us to talk about boundaries. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, if in the show example, if Junior doesn't mind it, even though he's playing dumb, whatever. If the other guy, listen, the other guy starts crossing the line when he does something that Junior doesn't like, because that would be anybody. So
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
moment he would have, like, I don't know, grabbed his thigh or done something, and then Junior's like, yo, what the fuck?
But now, see, now with all the things you let
And
go, I'll be man. I just want to punch you in the
and
face for even thinking, bro. Like,
and
just want
and you
to,
know, um, and that again, I know that's a safety thing. That's something again goes on going back to the idea of like safety and how do we get back to our
right.
relationship with just people in general, to the point where it's like, because again, it's like we're all humans, right? So
Hmm.
it's like we for men, I do think it does, like looking at gay men specifically in a certain way, for them just acting out like again their intimate relationships with other people and flirting, they have a right to do that too, as long as they never no se pasan. It's that simple, like because again, if women flirt with you, it's the same thing. They could flirt with you, but si se pasan in a way that you're like, yo, why you grabbing my, you know what I'm saying? Like it's cool, but now you went to grabbing my in the middle, and we in the middle of a party, like you, what are you doing? So even we get that with women. So it's like, you
Yeah,
know,
but I'm guilty. I don't know about you, but I'm guilty
and
of
some people.
giving that, like not treating that the same. And I
No,
think
no, as I'm
that
saying, and I think that
Mhm.
that's what I'm addressing. I don't think I think that's a lot of men, Rob. I don't think that's just you. I think
Right.
a lot of men that I know personally would react more violent, if you will, if it was a man doing it to them
Yeah.
than if a woman does it, because you feel safer, in a way,
Hmm.
or no, less threatened. I would say, um, and then I do think it sucks because in some ways, then, as we've known and we've talked about, it kind of robs. I think some way, not that robs us, but I do think that because we have that kind of relationship with gay men as then heterosexual men is like with our relationships there's a limit to like how intimacy can really play out. You know what I mean? Because of our relationship with and the way we view a lot of us still view this dynamic between us and gay men. You know, because again for Junior, let's say even using that example, let's say the other guy actually was a heterosexual man, but he was very flamboyant, if you will. You know, and then that's how they. I was like, he's definitely
Use
very.
my face. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, he
sorry.
said no, not him. But whatever, bro. You know,
Not the
just
way he
work with me
licked
here.
his
Work
lips.
with me.
Looked at him. I
Who
never in my life thought
humor
to
me,
do that
humor
and
me,
then get
humor
a
me,
spoon and be like, "Here, I'll be."
humor
Like,
me, humor me.
is that
I
humor me? Go
mean,
ahead. I don't even know how that episode ended, but
yeah,
I'm
but like
curious.
for example, like in my family, like I think that my uncle does is like feed us. You know what I'm saying? He might come around like, with chicken, like yo try this, and you know what I'm saying. So he feeds us. Fed me. Like my uncle fed me, and so for some people that's too much. For some people that's like, oh, that's okay because that's your uncle. But for some men, that's like, nah, that's your uncle feeds you. Like he fed you, like he put chicken in your mouth. Like yeah, he did, and he ate it. He made me eat it. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to eat it one
Man, it's
time.
all circumstantial, right? Because my uncle don't
Oh,
even.
oh,
Yeah,
now you
my
might.
uncle.
Well, your mic kind of came off a little bit,
My
Rob. So
fault.
you might
Yeah.
want to be careful. Yeah, yeah. I just realized it detached. No wonder I couldn't hear you. I thought you were just a little further away. But yeah, so and thankfully again, the friendships and the men I have in my life, I do think that the level of vulnerability and intimacy, I think that we can display. I think to the limit that what I'm saying, because obviously everybody is comfortable with what happens. I think is to what I would consider a privilege. You know what I'm saying? Because we could do that and still be secure in our masculinity. You know what I mean? And as ourselves, um,
Like
especially
Tyrese.
especially like again so you've been in my family, like it's like just something we do very intimate, like always like either playing with each other, hugging around each other
For
again,
sure.
feeding each other beer, like yo you want to here have some beer, it's like.
But this is why I believe
But
that
some people that's like again
you're
that's like
blessed,
yo
bro.
yo some men don't do that, yo you ain't gonna feed me no beer, I don't care who you are, you ain't with my dad, you don't put no beer in my mouth and feed like like.
Right. Don't know, and I don't come from that. But see, again, those are family values. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
family, and
So
it's
then
very
yeah.
important to understand that
No,
you
no, no.
come from
Obviously, there's
a
trust.
family
Yeah,
value and
yeah.
it's very respected,
Well,
loved. I can see the difference. My
yeah.
uncle will be on the phone. Literally, my uncle's on the phone with my father, and then I haven't spoke to him in years, and he don't think to be like, oh yo, let me talk to my nephew, like
Yeah.
let me talk to him, like, so that's the kind of family I come from.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So feed you
Uh,
chicken, bro.
uh,
That's I understand why. Yeah, you'll be more comfortable with that. Teach his own.
man.
Again, as a
No,
man,
no, no,
I
no.
just feel that I just don't want to get violent. I check myself. Like
Well,
I can
yeah.
have my feelings, but to your credit, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to think that these are bad people. Right.
Well, off the bat, like, and that
Right.
you want to get violent with them, because it's like
Right.
that. That's the
Right.
part where I draw the line, because it's like,
Punch her in the face and be like, "Yo, why you playing dumb? Like, why I gotta say you playing dumb? Maybe you just don't literally know." Yeah, I mean, like, and that's what we do to even children, right? Me growing up, if I really did have like ADHD even from a child, or if I developed it, I asked myself, was I playing dumb, or was I really having just attention disorder? You know what I'm saying? Like, was it just
uh,
hard for me to focus, or did I not care? And then you treat somebody like that without giving them any opportunity to show you otherwise. That's yeah. I'm struggling with that myself. I want to give people opportunities. Um,
yeah. Well,
that's
because I'd imagine
trauma and boundaries.
we want people to give us opportunities, So
Yeah,
I wouldn't want somebody to, because I do something or
chalk
say
you
some,
up.
yeah, off of one thing I said, one word, which is gonna happen either way. Um, but
Yeah, no, I
either way,
understand.
either way. Anyway, that was so those two interesting, like, so we started went from violence, which honestly any violent thinking is yes. If you're actually asking yourself, does this make me toxic? It does. If your approach to conflict, whether that be your intimate relationship, your platonic relationship, professional relationship, I think that let's call that toxic.
Right.
Let's call that toxic. Whatever. That's
I
toxic.
understand. Yeah, I agree.
Um,
No,
uh,
because we speak
not to be
aggressively.
not
Even
to
your
not to be confused with self defense. So I think in in circumstances where you are defending your honor, you're defending your life, you're defending your family, all no holds barred. Do what you got to
Right.
do. You know, I can't really tell you, but you know, self defense to me is also the last resort after you've exercised all your peaceful options. So
Right.
you know, if someone gets violent first, might sometimes my inclination is to think like, I will like, did was there even a peaceful option at least? And if there was, like, I'd be curious why you didn't take that route first.
Yeah, I'm the restraining type. I will
You
restrain.
know,
Nothing to beat your ass.
but you know, I think that's something to consider. I think you know, but that could be aggressive communication is a very funny thing. So, but it's not a very funny thing. It's a very awful thing to kind of maintain in a relationship because it's gonna cause trauma. Um,
Right.
but I know we got to. That's one of the things I wanted to highlight. I was also trying to make a list because at first I said, "Hey, we should try to come up with like what are the top 10? Does this make me toxic?" Uh, so
Do
we're
you
ready
have
to talk.
some?
Well, one was that we talked about violence, right? So obviously that goes without saying. Let's just say without listing it yet. Does that make me toxic if I believe it's okay to act aggressively, respond aggressively if I don't like something that my partner does? That's on the list. I say yes, and that's on the list. So, acting, responding aggressively when you don't like how your partner behaves or respond to you. We That's probably ranks number one anyway, because
Yeah, I mean it's violence. I mean that's there's
yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to come back from that. For me personally,
So if you go with number
because
two or the
yeah,
rest of them, we have. Does this make me toxic? Thinking that And now, if we're thinking about relationships, so let's actually jump ahead before we. Does this make me toxic? The fact that I think I would rather be a father versus considering marrying someone
oh, being a husband.
or being a husband.
Ah, okay. We talking about Cam Newton, guy. We're talking about
So,
Cam Newton. Love to that.
yeah.
I personally think
So
now.
that's been the
I don't
conversation that's
think
been
I don't think he
circulating
intended to be top.
recently.
Yeah, he's that.
I said that, and I'm just jumping in saying that that's been the conversation recently. I
For
think that,
sure.
of course, I'd imagine men are paying attention to
Oh yeah.
and tapping into again if you know who these people are, if you know who Cam Newton is, or you're just even on social media because I'm pretty sure this circulated a bunch of times through IG, TikTok, and all that.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's been a
that.
podcast. It's been like an episode
But
out for three
yeah,
weeks.
but also Rob,
Um,
think about this. Hasn't that been a conversation also that people have had probably for quite some time and years? I
yeah,
recall
he's not the
have
only one.
And no,
He's not the only
I'm
one.
talking about when we were teenagers. Like I'm pretty sure in a couple of rap rooms, this is a conversation where like, would
Mm.
you rather be a father before a husband? Like, so it's
To
it's
me, we shouldn't separate the two. But I understand that we're operating in a world that already has separated the two. But that's why I wonder why we as men are just submitting to that and not, what I'm saying, trying to bring that back
hmm
together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it doesn't, it starts with you. Yeah, I mean, I understand that the partner can make it difficult and it won't work, but it does start with you believing and making that choice that this is it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who I'm dedicating myself to. And I'm not going to leave them just because they're in whatever season they're in. You know what I mean? I'm here for the long haul. The same way I'm going to have to be here for the long haul with my children. You know what I mean? And no matter what
hmm
season they're in, the season that they don't love me, they don't love their mom, they don't love any of us, that they don't love themselves, all those seasons, like all the seasons that they love something that I think is bad for them, but oh my God, maybe it is good for, like, I got to figure this all out. I got to be with my children. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? Your children don't just see you do that for them, they see you do that for the mother as well. But now, if you can't do that for the mother, you won't be able to do that for the kid. And that's my truth, where I see that happening. You know what I'm
hmm
saying? That's just my perspective. I do think that a lot of us are operating with damaged,
All right.
like
Well,
system. Like we're just, we're trying to make do with what it is. And it's like, bro,
yeah,
stop. 8 kids, man.
yeah.
Eight, and you want more, and you want more, and you're saying the way God brings it. No, that's the point. Why don't you? I understand God is gonna bring everything to you if that's your point, but how do you want it? Oh God, I want it like this. I want it that it's this one person. I want to build with this one person. I don't need any more kids, but yes, I would love more kids. But the God, you're going to give it to me in a way that is not in a cyclical nature, that is unhealthy, that is not even to say it's unhealthy. Don't let me tell you that, but it's not cyclical. This exactly the same. It gets better. So in the next step that gets better, oh, you're saying you provide. She's not a single mother who doesn't just do anything. You're there for your kids. Well, then what's the next step?
Mm-hmm.
That you're just in the home together, right? That is that you're together.
Right.
All right, then what are we saying? Then we're not gonna accept that. But I that's why I was questioning with him, because it was all just too like, you know, I just wanted how God gives it to me. And it just felt like very removed
Mm.
from the emotions that actually you feel when it's not going well. You know what I'm saying? That you had to pull out those really hurtful emotions when you wanted to make it work and you couldn't. Like, so now you're just done with it. For me, that's like what I had to just recently fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, oh, I
Right.
would love a relationship, but it's not working, not just
Mm.
because of them, it's because of me
Well.
too, because I can't support them, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
entirely, because
Mm.
I also get triggered.
Mm.
So now
Well.
I got to deal with that. And I'm watching him get triggered by a doctor
Mm.
who's sitting back and being like, no, go ahead, go ahead. She's giving him the floor.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When she's speaking, he has this passive aggressiveness where he's like, I can speak now. All right, say less. You know, and then it's like, I just never feel like you're listening. I feel like you listen to your best abilities, and you've been doing this for a while, so you're good at it. But I could see, you can't hide, bro. You just can't hide. It's not the point to hide. So I could see where it felt like he was triggered, and he can only hear certain things. And love to him, bro, because I've been there too. But again, it's just, let's not front and act like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, this, it's just, you know, my situation, but I'm good though. It's not me. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. It's like, bro, it is you if you literally are looking at the situation and being like, I want more. I want to do it again. It's like, no, what? I, no. And then he's in a relationship. He's in a relationship right now. And this was what was funny to me personally, that I saw that somebody said, man, the how they said the contrast to these two things right here. They had a video of when his lady was
Mm-hmm.
on a podcast, and how she spoke. Check
What
this
does
out.
that mean? You know, what does a submissive
Mm.
woman
That
do
was
for
a.
her man?
That was out. That
Everything.
yeah.
What does that mean?
I think that was a.
Like packing his bags,
Oh shit!
unpacking
Yeah,
his
yeah,
bags,
yeah, 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 yeah.
just making sure all the things that he
Yeah, yeah,
wants.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I pretty much read his
So,
mind.
well,
So it's
Rob,
like if I know
that's
I
so
know
that's his
that
ex
he wants
girlfriend, right? Where she talked about like having anal sex with him, even though she didn't like it and it was hurtful. And I was at that point, man.
Submissive,
You
submissive,
know, at
submissive.
that point, yeah, yeah, man.
And continuously
That,
submitting to a man who, I
well,
understand, for
well,
me personally, is
that,
balance. I gotta submit too.
well,
I gotta
what?
submit too, to a certain extent. But
Cause,
men just keep
hmm,
thinking that, I feel personally, they keep thinking that they submit in a way that it robs them of their masculinity. And I just think that if your focus is so much on what your masculinity, holding that shit down, then you just kind of you got it skewed. Like, you know what I'm
hmm,
saying? Like, you got it fucked up. It's like women don't have to focus on how sexy and beautiful they look to hold on to their femininity. No, ladies, you are feminine how you are.
hmm,
Show your femininity. It's not like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do your hair, you gotta clean your, you know what I'm saying? A woman with dirty feet ain't feminine. Like, I mean, nah, bro, I'm not, let me not do that to you. Like, show me your femininity.
hmm,
Show me how you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like people to do that to
yeah,
me either. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like,
Well, I mean that's now going off to another idea of toxic thinking that I think, man. So does that make me toxic, right? Believing that my woman should be submissive.
no matter what, right? To make you happy. It's like, nah. My lady's
Yes.
happiness
Let
is
me put
first for
that.
me.
No. Well,
My lady's happiness is important. If I'm unhappy, then of course I'm gonna address that, and it's not gonna be one sided, one or the other, both of our happiness. But you know what I'm saying? I gotta weigh the options of what am I really what am I losing here,
well,
and have the conversation.
you know, and then and so the you know he made this comment, and that's what you and I both came across it about like this idea of fatherhood, and then the way he talked about having children, and so I mean, you seem pretty animated about it. I was like, oh man, Right, he's like Rob really was like, oof, man. Well, I'll tell you, boy, I'll tell you. Um, but what part do you think? So then, where would you like again? If you've been talking to Cam, like assuming he was here, right? Like,
Hmm.
and we're now it's us three, and we're having this conversation. So like, what question would you ask him in terms of like again? Because if we try to believe, like, break it down in this idea, of father before husband, I think I share with you that there's men I've found in my life throughout my life growing up till now that I've met that when we've had conversation, especially when I was hitting a certain age, it's already like, yo, so you having kids? Yo, so you're gonna have kids soon, right? Yo, so why you don't have
Yeah.
yo, so you don't got no kids? Yo, so when you gonna pop out a little one? Yo,
Right.
so you still not gonna pop out a little one? Like, so it's like there's they talk about that, and I know women get that pressure too, but
Hmm.
we do
Hmm.
as well, so, and especially in our culture, I think that's a
Hmm.
thing. And so I've also met men who've had children and have said that they've had children because they were getting old, like specifically, like they their reason for having a child is because they were reaching a certain age and they were like, yo, I gotta have already a kid, man. I'm already getting old. I gotta have some kids. And this thinking that I guess part of our identity as men is to procreate, is to procreate. I was gonna say to be fathers, but I don't think it's that. If you're saying if some men I've met, and again, so that doesn't speak for all men, but the men I've met anecdotally like have this idea, this thinking that like, yeah, I have to have kids by a certain age, um, and then thus it doesn't even matter who I'm having a child with. And many of them have sort of admitted and implied that they just had a kid with someone just to have a kid. They weren't even interested in the partners, and lo and behold, the situations didn't work out. So now that, so now that child, and that, like to your point earlier, where you're getting at, as far as like Cam Newton with his 8 children, and like how does he maintain a stable, consistent presence? Now, I will say I was sharing with you, there's research, out there that does say that men, black men specifically, um, statistically spend more time in, at least in the United States, spend more time with their children and are more involved in their children's lives than other demographics. So,
Hmm.
and again, the stereotype of men like Cam Newton or even like Nick Cannon, who before Cam Newton was the one parading his freaking football squad that he got going on.
Yeah.
Um,
He's
you
another one.
know, these guys kind of like represent like black men, and then oftentimes since these are popular guys in our culture, it's like they push this nasty narrative that like, oh, look, black men and baby mamas, they just love having baby mamas. Baby mama drama is like this very nasty kind of idea that like that's something that black men specifically do. So this idea of black masculinity in that way, this kind of sucks because it's like, again, that's it. I've come across that thinking because even men in my life, like I said, and specifically when I go to DR, they're over there. It's like, bro, you're not. So it's like the expectation is that I am to just have a child with anybody. And my pushback sometimes have even been to people like, damn, if there are a lot of children right now. Adoption exists, like so really, if it's about having a kid, and if you yourself got kids because you felt like you were getting too old, why don't you just adopt? You really want to have kids that bad, so I think this idea of yeah, I'm meant to procreate. Doesn't matter who I'm gonna be with. Is sort of a little bit toxic thinking.
Oh, hella toxic for
You
both because
know,
men don't
but,
men don't
nah.
have men. Is not just men and men having
No, but
babies.
no, for
Men and
sure,
women
but
as well.
for
You
sure,
know what I'm
for sure.
saying? And
But
it's for
you
both.
could lie. Hey, you could lie. You could tell women you love her,
You
get what
can't.
you want, and then dip
Yeah,
because all you
not for
wanted was
long,
that
bro.
kid.
It's
You
temporary,
know what
and
I'm
that's
saying?
why you look
So
at those
that's why I'm
relationships.
not. I can't say I would blame women right away in this scenario. I'm just speaking to like men who
No,
have
they
this
both
thinking.
just take
You
accountability. No
know,
blame.
you
No
know,
blame.
because
No
I
blame.
let women talk to women about like women that have kids just to have kids. But because
Right.
I don't know what that's like, and I don't know if women I don't know how women pressure each other to have kids in the way that again
Right. 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 I agree. I
the men in
agree.
my life have pressured me, not pressured me, but like asked me about like why I'm not having kids yet or I should have a child.
I
So
agree.
that's why I'm speaking to that. Like so to the men, that's toxic amongst us to think that like our age determines like we should have a child by a certain time. Because again, if you want children that bad, why? I think I think it would have been if I could have a redo of a lot of those conversations. I kind of would want to get into the why. Like, so why? Why would why? What's up? So you had your kid. Okay, so you had a kid because you thought he was getting old. So what did you want to do with this child? Like, and are you doing those things right now? So because sometimes the basic answer I hear is my legacy. So
See,
so
it's
it,
so selfish. That's why I'm a
but
junior.
yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
junior. I can't even have my own name. I had
Uh,
to be like LeBron. Even regretted calling LeBron James Jr. his son. Break. He doesn't have his own identity, and this is a thing where I'm wondering about like that. How much of it is with God when you went ahead and did it
uh.
8 times, and you think God wants y'all to have a broken home?
Well, we know
You know,
people use religion
like
to excuse a lot and justify a lot of their behavior. That's why,
it's corny because it
but it
don't make
happens.
sense.
It
Because
happens
God, when you know what I'm saying, when I'm looking at it, it's like, where's the love in
when
that
it
when you
does.
leave each other? Where's the patience in that when you
Uh,
leave each other? Where's the
well, they'll
forgiveness?
say it was up to
All
God.
these
God
things
wanted that to
all
happen.
these things that are in the Bible, that God talks about love, joy, peace,
Uh,
forbear, you know what I'm saying, patience,
uh,
self-control, all these things. If you really want to talk about it, then you got to talk about these qualities that are being spoken about. That I'm like, yo, I got to deal with these qualities within
uh,
myself before I ever go and make a family, a whole other creation.
yeah.
That what am I going to teach this thing? How to make money? They don't need me to teach it how to make money. The system is going to
Well,
make money. It needs me to teach it the
mm,
intricacies, the things that aren't really seen out here. Self-control, how
mm,
to like be, how to protect
yeah.
yourself and others without being the thing that is unsafe, right? Because sometimes when you feel unsafe and you think you're protecting yourself, little do you know that all the collateral damage around you, and you got to look at it afterward, like, oh my God, I'm so
Mm,
sorry, I didn't. I blacked out. I felt so unsafe, and I just started swinging. Like, look, that's a journey that you need to take, spirit. You know what I'm saying, on your own. You know what I mean? I'm really grateful. 35 with no child, where it's like, no, bro, I had to be there for my nephews
mm,
and my little niece now, and you know what I'm saying. Like,
mm,
these children matter. It's not just me and my children and my legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like I see the ego in that too,
yeah.
where it's like you can't even address your ego to know that you already lost everything
Well,
you think that you lost, but in
mm,
terms of like you wanted to build this family and it's not happening, and you're
mm,
just trying to win a losing game. Stop playing the
yeah.
same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing the same way.
Yeah.
I
Well, it's a thinking. It's not playing, Rob. Remember, it's
Well,
a
for
it's a
me, it sounded like a
thinking.
game
It's a
because check it
thinking.
out.
No, but it's
I
not a
wrote some
thinking.
quotes when he said,
It's a
but when
it's
you
a
smile
it's
and you
a
laugh and you play it off, I'm asking you,
yeah,
yo, you taking this shit
and
seriously?
well, also remember this stuff is scripted, Rob. These are people. This is $1 million production. This shit. They have a script for this. I highly doubt with the production value on these things that this shit is not scripted, bro. You
I
think
don't know. No,
Cam?
I can't wait
You
for you to watch it, bro.
you
I,
think
I I'll
you
say
think you
before
think?
we
No, no, no.
because I'm so
I've
sorry to the
I
public
know
that
I've
I'm not
watched
gonna be able
clips.
to continue, man.
No, I know I watched the clips, but it's I know that he has a lot of money behind his production, bro. And I've been part of small productions, even small productions, part of Beat with BET, and I just saw how like meticulous it was with like what you have to say.
Mm,
Watch out what you have to say, even if you're talking about a great. I was talking about domestic violence, and everything I had to say had to be carefully
mm,
reviewed. So
uh,
it's like I couldn't even. So it's like I'm not. I wouldn't doubt it if he okayed this image of him. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows he's gonna get people talking, and he knows that there are a lot of men that agree with him. There's a lot of men
there
again
was something that he
that
was like, we don't even
believe
got to get into that. It
that
was
there's a lot of men that believe that it's their right to just have kids no matter what. And so like my pushback to that thinking is that one again I would say it's toxic, but if you don't subscribe to that idea, because again some men also will put that on God and say God gave wanted it this way. Um, at which that's why it's like it gets sticky. If God put it this way, then what can I tell you, right? If your God told you that this is the way it could be, then it's like, what am I gonna tell you, Cam Newton, right? Like
yeah, more
at
power
that
to you,
point,
bro. I pray you're right.
it's like so deeper than that. It's like, okay, so again, so what is happening for your children? What are you doing? How are you showing right
Hmm.
self control? How are you displaying? Because to me, again, I'm like, that shit just sounds tough. Like eight children, for example, or five, four, three. Like eight, it's a lot. So hopefully
Hmm.
he's present enough to provide them not only with shelter, not only with clothing, not only with food, but with presence, but yeah, as much as quality time, right? He doesn't
Right.
he doesn't have maybe he doesn't
Emotional
right
support.
right if he can't be there every day because clearly he has 8 kids, but is it quality time? You know what I'm saying? Is the time spent well? When he finally shows up, is it just here's these gifts and then I'm gonna chill in the kitchen with mom talking for like the whole time I'm there while I watch you play, or am I getting on the floor with you and playing with the toys and being in your world for the whole time I'm with you? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
how is the time being spent for him? Because I think that's what stands out to me about this idea with father before
Right. Right.
husband, before husband. Because I don't know where necessarily stand on that. I do, but ultimately I do stand on like fatherhood should not be something to just be played with. Like to have kids just because you believe it's your right. Like fatherhood has a meaning. I do think, and if someone can tell me that if someone, and another man specifically, not just someone, another man and I have a conversation about why they want to be fathers and their idea about not getting married, hopefully we can have a conversation about, and I would hear from them that they're bringing up things like, I'm going to be spending quality time. I'm going to nurture. I'm going to grow a community. These kids, I'm going to teach them to do this, right? Like stuff that leads to that, because we already live in a messed up world. But are they having children to then provide for the next generation of children who are going to carry on this legacy and this world for us in a right path? That's what I would be concerned with. This idea of if you don't want to marry someone, then I would also then bring up the conversation of, so why don't you just adopt a child? But if like, because
I mean, look, there are choices. I'm saying it's very.
because to me, if you're having a child, I mean, with
I don't
marriage,
think
it just,
I don't think men are ready to understand that.
but
You have it is
it's
the power isn't sex, and the way that they over
it's.
sexualize everything.
I'm not gonna call it toxic because not everyone believes in marriage, so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
It's
And
the act of having a child. When you have I wonder if they're really sitting here and having a child, or they're having sex, and then it's like, oh,
mm.
we're pregnant. You know what I mean? And then you accept
Whew.
it, right? Because that's the plan. Now, I want to know, because I see it even in myself, that I had to stop just thinking that sex was just sex. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And now, even more realizing that sex is not just sex. It's like, yo, sex, that's the creation
Mm.
of a child,
Mm.
right? So you take that seriously, and you know that when I'm having a connection with this person, I can't just have sex with this person and be a good person when I just discard them when shit
Mm.
gets really tough. Like, no, this is a connection here. I should take this more seriously. I don't think men are ready for that conversation, because it's never been that serious. Sex has never been that
Mm.
serious for us. And then for it to become that serious, you would actually have to stop mishandling it and just treating it like the next fucking can of soda. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to have something else. I don't want this flavor no more. Just because you tired of it. Like, that's
Mm.
fucked up, bro. Yeah, I mean, and when you really think about it, like, a lot of men, right? You get older, you're gonna have sex with your girl at 25, 35. You're still gonna
Mm.
love her when she's 65, and then y'all just not on that same level. Like, do
Uh,
you really rock with this person? Like, this is what I was telling you before. I don't know men to prioritize their families. Like, when they think about this, you think
mm.
about sex, but you don't think that sex is the act to build a family. And are you ready to prioritize a family? Nah, you're
Well,
just ready to prioritize your sexual prowess and like what you want. Like, you want to have
well,
this. Like,
yeah.
you deserve this. You about to hold it down. Like, shorty, I rock your
Well,
shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
well, that's another tricky conversation you would have with
yes.
men because not you and to be fair, you arrived at this conversation now, but you've been having sex for more than almost 20 years, so
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
weren't always there, Rob. You know what I
Right, I
mean?
know.
Sex
Yeah.
wasn't so
But
this is something that
thankfully,
took
I don't
this
have no kid
is
out there, and
you
thankfully, I
know
didn't put too many women throughout the thing
uh,
of, like,
well
I'm just
uh,
impregnating, and you
uh,
handle it, impregnating, handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
uh,
I'm grateful, bro. I'm grateful too. That's what I'm saying. But my story is not everyone's story, and it's like, right. And again, you have to reflect. That's why
mm,
one of the biggest things I don't know if I'm seeing in those two podcasts that I saw with Nick
man.
Cannon and Cam Newton was the, like, ability to reflect and be okay with, you're not good right now. Like, this
Mm,
is not,
mm,
this is not healthy. Sorry. Like, this is what they call low functional, right? And saying, okay, no. Look, it was a lot of, the doctor had to, like, soothe their ego with love, and I know she genuinely meant it, but I could see right through it. Like,
mm.
it's the ego. You got to soothe the ego and tell him he's a high valued man, but I'm gonna speak real to you. You're low functional, and that's what she did. So love to her. But I just also saw, like, it's
What does
not.
what does that even mean? How you a high value man?
Or high value in terms of
Like he got a lot of money. I know what that means, man. That term
right?
is funny. High value man. He just got that means,
Like
AKA, you
could
got a lot of
provide.
money.
You're a provider. You're a
Like
provider. You're
that's
doing all of
just
those
that
things,
term
right?
is
But
even
in
like
terms of your
contradictory.
function, is that functioning for you? Clearly
Yeah.
not, right? Because it's 8 children with 3 different people.
That's what I'm saying,
Like,
Rob. But low key, we know it is, bro. Because men respect money, and other men respect. Like these guys are getting their way. You know what I'm saying? If they're
but
really,
they're
if
not
they're,
happy. You know,
eh,
if you watch that shit again, he seemed
well, we can't
so
make. It's hard to make
intrigued
those
about
assumptions.
Curtis Jackson.
I
You
can't. I
should have
can't make
seen his
those.
eyes, Albie, when he
But
asked her. He was like, I'm curious about 50 Cent. Would you say 50 Cent's a high valued man? You know what I'm saying? Like, high functional. And it seemed like,
mm,
again, you can't hide out here, bro.
yeah,
It's like he was measuring himself to another person that he
another
probably
man
knows
who has a lot of
is,
money.
yeah, who isn't high functional because it's like, come on, 50 Cent did some fucked up shit,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
we're,
and
we're
and
not to
so
go,
that's
we don't hold
another
him
thing that,
accountable.
yeah, and does that make you talk? Yo, men do that a lot, and I think that's so sad.
And he
That's
was
it,
measuring, and he was like, and you
and,
could,
and I've been there, but I think I haven't been there. Thank God, knock on wood. I haven't, like that comparison stuff. Like that sucks that we do that to each other. Like it's so whack because then we respect each other a lot. We only listen to other men a lot of times, but then it's like when it comes to talking to a woman, we love to bring up another man. But what about him? You think he's goody two shoes and he's actually a piece of shit too? Like that's so whack. Like why you got to bring up the other man? Like that's but a
putting
lot of
her
us
in a predicament to
like
fuck up her kind
the
of her
like
connect. You know what I'm saying? Like
which
she showed respect though. She was like, "Yo, if you could get
which
50 Cent right here next to me, then we could talk about the things you want to talk about."
yeah,
But right now you're being
exactly.
messy.
But again, I think Rob, that's why I'm like, to me, I try not to look too into it because it's a high production thing. Like Nick Cannon knows that this makes him look away with certain demographic, but he's gonna still be willing to put this stuff out because he don't give a f. And one,
True, true, true.
it's likely hitting the audience that he's attracting, which are men that spend money that have this belief, men that buy
Yeah,
in, and men with no money who aspire to have money,
yeah.
who have the same belief. He's speaking to those men, you know what I mean, who then buy into this very limited idea of what it means to be a man, you know what I mean, like which is we're here to procreate and that's it. But it's like, nah, man, I think there's more to that, and so in terms of really thinking about what you want, that's very important. But we are definitely way past time that I wanted to. So
Nah, love. I
I
appreciate
definitely
you so
started listening to
much.
this. But I know I don't know if your ride was waiting
I'm
for you
heading back.
also.
I'm heading back.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
heading
yeah.
back to NYC. Yeah,
Man,
man. I'm on the
man.
move,
That's
man.
great. Let's get a clap, man. Let's get it.
Love,
I ain't
love,
going.
love.
But
Love, man. Well, we're gonna keep this going, man.
yeah.
I'll be, let's just get on like another. I don't know. Talk to me offline type shit
All
if we can
right.
go on
Oh, for sure.
tomorrow
Well,
or
yeah. So I'll give you a call then once I end the stream. So
love.
yeah, let me put we can stay on right now. I'm about to put thank y'all, man, for tuning in. Whoever tuned in, hope you enjoyed the
Type
conversation.
shit.
I have a list, so I'm probably going to release the list of the toxic things we came up with. I think it'll be cool
Gang.
to list it.
Yeah.
May create a poll because I wrote them down based on our conversation today. It was about 8 things we came up with. List them, maybe we could rank them. But we already know what's going to be probably number one, but rank them as we said we would. But yeah, man, it's your boy Al, man. We out of here.
Yeah, here, Rob Hegan. Love to y'all, man. Love to y'all. Love to y'all. We'll make it up to y'all, man. I know it's quick and short, but we got more to discuss, man. This is definitely called short because I definitely want to get back into it. So let's just make me toxic part 3 coming up. Fuck it.
That was Swiss Rose by May Flowers. Check her out. May Flowers. May Flowers. This is artist we fuck with here at the 80th. Always part of the 80th, man. Showing love to May Flowers, man. The 80th